So today we will be taking a video to show you guys how we modify and fabricate our Norman blowers that we get, whether it's an 82 or a 92. We're going to show you specifically what we add to them to make them snow ready for our operators. So there's a couple little adjustments. We don't just get them from the dealer like this and start running them. So I look forward to sharing with you everything we do to these blowers, guys. That way you could do the same to yours, and it'll improve production by a mile, I promise. It's all about the 1%. So this last snow event, we were out performing operations, and we noticed that our blower was having a difficult time picking up the snow on the road. So where the auger is inside the blower and the little deflector in there, you can't really see too well. Because it's leaned a little bit back, as you could see, and I'll show you that our skid shoe isn't even touching the ground and the blower's sitting back like this, right? So the problem with that is the auger is not close enough to the ground, and it's not picking up the snow. So you leave a bunch of snow behind, and not only that, you have a very, very bad cut on your machine. So what you're gonna wanna do is come to your top link up here, twist your top link clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on how your blower's sitting. And you're gonna want your blower to sit like this, okay? Like digging a little bit, right? So Eric's gonna adjust it right now. And you're gonna see, watch it slowly come down. And the pressure apply, you see that? There we go. Now, as you can see here, and this is another reason why we don't like running Tyvar. That edge is brand spanking new, and it's already wear down. It has about a 1/4 inch left on it, and then it'll be completely done. It's already so worn that it's barely even sticking on the ground. The rubber skid shoe is on the ground before the Tyvar edge is, and that's not ideal. We will be changing that out as soon as our Hevia edges are in, as we ordered more. But you do want your blower sitting like this, okay? Not like this, but like this. We'll give a little bit of a better demonstration with a Hevia edge on, but we just wanted to show you guys that it's not ideal to have your blower sitting back. You want it sitting forward a little bit. Make sure those skid shoes aren't off the ground, and make sure you're doing this on some level concrete to make sure you're adjusting it accordingly. And like I said, you're gonna wanna use that top link here to turn it clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on which way you need to adjust the blower. So Eric drew up a beautiful illustration of how you want your cutting edge, and also how much room you're gonna wanna leave between the ground and the bottom of the cutting edge. 3 to 5 millimeters to be exact. Okay, so sometimes you're gonna notice that your blower's sitting sideways, like this one. It's a little bit lopsided. And if you want to make it level and even, what you're gonna have to do is lift this up and twist it either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on how your blower's sitting. Show them. Watch as you twist the handle, it'll turn level. That's good. Perfect. Now the blower's sitting nice and level. As promised. And you can see the little bit of the gap between the concrete and the bottom of the cutting edge. And that's how you want it to look. Right here, you're looking at the rubber skid shoe, okay? And there's a leaf spring right here that allows this to maneuver up and down like this as you're going over terrain in a driveway. So these leaf springs actually freeze up, and sometimes they even lock up. They lock your skid shoe up, or they lock it down, and it kind of screws up the cut when you're blowing snow in a driveway. And you know what? It's just a pain in the ass. So I do recommend you taking these out. We took all of ours out. It's about the only flaw in the Norman hybrid that I would personally say. So before they end up breaking or freezing on you, just take them out altogether, and it'll save you a headache in the middle of the winter. And this is what it looks like when it's off. Okay, so now it can move freely. So when that spring's there, or leaf spring, if you will. Like I said, it locks up sometimes, and it'll keep your shoe stuck like this, or it'll keep it stuck like this all the way up, and it'll freeze like that, and it won't move, which will screw up your cut, and it'll uneven the wear on the blower, and it just causes issues. So make sure you take those leaf springs out for now. Right here, you see the rubber cutting edge, or the rubber skid shoe, sorry. It won't let you align the cutting edge with the blower flushly because the skid shoe's in the way. So what we do is we cut a little piece right here. Nice and flush on the blower. Now we're gonna fasten our bolts in, cut the other skid shoe, and we're done.
Yes.
So that's the Hevia cutting edge installed on the Norman Hybrid 82. Okay, so we have our Norman on the bottom pins right now, and the reason why is we wanted to lift the blower a bit higher so that we could get underneath to install the Hevia edge a little bit easier. But you're gonna wanna run the top holes, so make sure you put all your pins on the top holes. We're going to show you how to do that, and the reason why is it makes for a lot smoother of a ride, and it also brings in the tractor a little bit closer to the rear end, and it's what you want. So you can run the bottom holes, but I don't recommend. Make sure you're putting those pins on the top holes, and that's it. Also, another big reason too, which I forgot to mention, is the shaft. You see that PTO shaft? It's almost straight up and down, which is really, really bad. That's really hard on the gearbox and the blower, and it's really hard on the rear end for the PTO on the tractor. So, you know, that's another big thing too. If you put your pins to the top, that blower is going to sit a lot more level, and it's not going to go as high in the air. You'll also snap sure pins this way too, etc. So, yeah, you're pretty much left with no choice but to put your pins on the top, or else you're going to break your machine and run into problems. Another thing we do to the blower here, or the PTO shaft I should say, is the cover is quite long. So what we end up doing is we cut about 3 inches off. That way when you lift your PTO cover to go change the sure pin, this sure pin's 2 1/4, right, Eric? Yeah, 2 1/4. When you go change a sure pin, you have more access in there to be able to, you know, leverage your hands to move around and get the sure pin on quicker, or PTO bolt, whatever you want to call it. So I would recommend doing that, as you're not going to be able to fit your hands in there if you don't, or you're going to need a really, really small pin, and that's going to be even more of a pain in the ass. So this is what I meant by putting your pins on the top setting like that. You're going to want to do that on all your blowers. So we got our rookie rods here. So these brand new 82-inch Norman, or any Norman you buy at all, don't come with rookie rods, and they're a nice guide point for the operators. So they actually make holes in the factory right there to install the rods into. And as you can see on this blower here, they're all attached. And these are really nice for the operators to be able to see where the blower is getting close to. We have them on all our machines. Rookie rods. They're like 20 bucks. You can find them on Amazon, and they are very, very helpful. So here's our custom shovel mounts that Eric just fabricated. There's the second one down there. Now we usually hit it with some touch-up paint after we're done, but we'll show you how it works. So you got your shovel here.
First you put the shovel, the handle side.
So handle side first, shovel side second. Then you grab your pin, which is hooked up on a cable so you don't lose it. You could even go an extra one like that, and you're good to go. Just like that. It won't come out.
You don't lose it.
Now usually we hit this with some touch-up paint, like I was saying. Paint it John Deere green to match the blower. And there's your custom shovel mount with a tree spade shovel attached so that you can unclog that blower efficiently. So Eric, you want to explain to us everything we're going to need to mount the shovel on the blower?
Sure. So it's pretty straightforward. You have your
wire.
Cable.
You could call it that, cable, doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then just find something really sharp that will cut it. Make sure the cut is really nice because you gotta go inside this press lock in here, and then we use one of these pins in here, put it through, and then put the side, and then I have something that just press, just to have press, and then I use this tool in here, and I make sure to have this one really tight, and then start tightening this up. Just because you don't want to have this going all the way because it can fall off, right? But in here, as you can see, it's not going anywhere, right? So that's why you want it that way. And then you can use some clevis pins, and then you still need a little hole in the bottom. I figured just to use bolts and have
custom.
a hole in the bottom, hole in the top. This is for the metal side, and this is for the handle side. And
works just as good.
Works just as good. So another step is just, we didn't show you in the video before, but we make a hole in the handle and make a hole
in the shovel.
It's really hard metal. These kind of shovels, they're really good. They really help a lot to unclog the machine when it gets loud in here. And also in here, as you can see, what I did is I mark where those holes are gonna be, right? And
on both sides.
In both sides, and to be able to have a mark well done, and you need to grind as well. I just use a drill bit, just a little bit, then I grind it, and then the weld is gonna work better in there, right? Right in the center of that mark in there, weld around, and that's where the handle of the shovel goes.
Okay, let's see it. Holy, my man.
Another thing to consider when working on the blowers is to know what is the speed of the chute and your deflector, right? In this case, I already checked this machine and I know that the chute speed is very good, but the deflector is a little too fast for us. So we are gonna install some reducers or restrictors, and what we need to do is just take our hoses out from our deflector and then remove this piece to be able to install the reducers in here. All right, so this is a reducer or restrictor. It comes with a little hole that is about 1/62, but it's a little too small. So we're gonna be using a bit that is 3/32 of an inch, and this is the way we do it in here. Another important thing is, like, I just did the hole and you can see there is a lot of crap metal in there. So you don't want that going through your hydraulic system, right? So give it a little tap, both sides, and then use some air. That's it. So now we're gonna install our reducer. It's pretty straightforward, right? Remember to use a little bit of Teflon tape. All right, this is what you end up with, and then just put it back together. And that's it.